Hey, welcome back to Nub Tools. In this episode, I built a custom tool cabinet for my welding table. I get to learn how to spot weld with my TIG welder, a whole lot of sheet metal work, a little bit of machining, and I finally put this thing on the ground with some heavy-duty casters. And for the first time, I bolt the tabletop down to the frame. So stick around and enjoy the show. When I was designing this welding table, I knew I wanted some sort of toolbox or tool cabinet to put inside the welding table so that I always had a good place to organize my clamps and fixture components. And so originally I set out to just find a toolbox that could fit inside the envelope of the table, but I couldn't find anything that would fit right. Everything was too long, too tall, too wide. And so just kind of off the cuff, I thought to myself, well, why don't I just make my own? And that turned out to be quite the undertaking, and I spent an absolute enormous amount of time designing a toolbox, and I thought about making it from scratch, getting full sheets of sheet metal, laying it all out, possibly having to get a brake, and that was just going to be an enormous amount of time to do all of that. And so I hired Send Cut Send, who I've used before, and I'm a customer of theirs. I just knew that was going to be the fastest way to do this, and I'd end up with a much higher quality product. So I sent them my DXF files. They laser cut everything beautifully. They bent everything for me and then just sent it to me, and it showed up on my front door. And that is the most amazing experience. So if you haven't ever done that before, and if you've got some projects, go check them out. I'll leave a link down in the description. Well, this is probably the only one I need to really adjust. The fit on here is just super tight, and which I like it, but I need a little bit more wiggle room, and it's a little bit tight in the middle. And when this is painted, I don't want it to be fighting it. So I'm going to move this support piece back just a little bit, and to give it the clearance it needs. I mean, it probably only needs like a 32nd of an inch, or not even that. Fortunately, I just tack these in place, but I shouldn't have even put them in yet. But these are welded in place, and then there's a couple little clearances where the sheet metal is hitting the weld, where I didn't put quite enough clearance, but that'll be easy to take care of. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll start putting together. All right, well, it's time to get on to the drawers of this tool cabinet. There's going to be 5 of them. I really think this is probably going to be the most challenging part of this build. We'll see how it goes. My laser cutters were able to get me pretty close to a finished part. I'm doing a hem on the sides. This box is over 3 inches deep, so they weren't able to close it completely up. But I had them do the 2 long sides, which are the most critical sides for me. This is where the side rails are going to attach. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge because I need to take these 90-degree edges and then completely fold them over and then smash them flat so there's a nice rounded beaded edge or hemmed edge. And I need to do that before I break the ends. I've got all 5 drawers folded up now, and they look really cool. The hem was a lot of fun to do. Took a little bit of getting used to with just kind of the random blocks of material that I had. But in the end, I think it came out really great. Just love the smooth radiused top edges of the drawers. I think it's going to look really slick. When it came to bending these ends, that I put the slots in it to make it bend easier. It definitely bent easier. It was hard for me to get it to be really tight of a bend, as tight as the brake is. But I had to do a little bit of handwork with the hammer and dolly, but that wasn't too bad. And it came together pretty good. The last thing to do with these drawers is to join the corners together. I'm going to use these little corner brackets, and I'm going to put them right here in the corners. And then I'll put a couple spot welds on each one of the flanges. And I'm going to attempt to do that with my TIG welder. I've never done that before, but we're going to give it a shot, and maybe on a couple test pieces first. And if that's a total fail, then I may just end up welding the corners together. Let me go give that a try, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know what it is about putting these slides on these support walls, but it's pretty fun. And everything bolted right up really good. I was a little nervous about it. As things start coming together, you know, I'm looking out for a mistake I might have made somewhere. It's bound to happen. And Mcmaster Carr, once again, has come through and provided really accurate, solid models of these guides, and everything bolted right up like it should. So hopefully I did everything on my part right inside the cabinet, so we'll see. So the next order of business is to clean up all these drawers. Everywhere where the spot welds were on the outside, there's a little bit of penetration. A couple of them I blew through and I had to plug up. So I'm gonna get those all cleaned up, and then I can bolt the slide that bolts to the actual drawer on all of them. We'll see if everything goes together. All right, let's do it. Well, I just realized that I probably could have put one of these holes in a better spot. The way I have it right now, everything bolts up good, but this last hole right here prohibits me from making any adjustment of the front face of this drawer. It's got this little adjustment screw right there where you can turn it and move this up or down. If everything doesn't line up perfectly, which hopefully it will, then I just need to remove this bolt here and then just drill a hole right inside there. And then all the other holes that I used, or the placements of them, are going to work out fine because they are in, I put them in the vertical slot, which was appropriate. And then the last one is fixed so that this thing can actually pivot and adjust the front face of the drawer. So we'll just chalk this up to inexperience of building drawers, cabinets. But this is pretty minor. But if everything is right and everything is at the right dimensions, everything should line up perfectly. So we'll see what happens. All right, this is the moment of truth. I have not tried this yet, so if this works, you'll see this footage. If it doesn't work, you won't see this footage. All right, let's go for it. Oh. Oh, it's awesome! Yes. All right, now one thing I've got to make sure is right is this distance here. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but I want it to be pretty good. So let's check it with one of the drawer faces. I don't think we could do much better than that. Actually, probably could. Just not me. Man. I'm really happy about that. Now it's time to put the slides on the other drawers, get them all fitted, take a look at everything, make sure there's no other adjustments I need to make. Well, I'm really happy how this tool cabinet's turning out. Everything is bolting up very nicely. It's just looking great. I cannot wait to use it. The last thing to do to really finish it out is to put some drawer faces on here. And I decided to make them out of 1/4 inch aluminum 6061. And I had them laser cut with the holes already put in them for the handles. But the only thing left for me to do is to drill 5 very shallow 1032 threaded holes and do a little bit of fluff and buff on the outside and probably put a radius on the outside edge. So I'm going to head over to the mill and do that, and then I'll come back and clean them all up and we'll put this thing together. Let's do it. Well, I'm loving this thing so much. It looks so awesome. It's so cool to finally have it all together. And I got these handles at Lowe's, and I just, I made these holes to where I could kind of pick and choose what I wanted from, like, Lowe's or Home Depot. And I found these stainless steel ones that are pretty simple, and I just think they look so cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing on the ground, get the casters on. It's not done yet. There's still a lot more to do. I need to build some tool racks and also need to put some covers on the top here. I want to be able to slide my chair up underneath here, see how it feels, see how it fits underneath my workbench. One of the things getting it on the ground will help is that I need to test fit this top plate on top of here. I have not bolted it on yet, so I need to make sure there's no issues there. If I need to make any kind of adjustments, now's the time to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and manhandle this thing, get it down on the ground, get the casters on it, and get it together, and we'll see what it looks like all together. So very stoked about that. So let's do it. This little table probably weighs somewhere around 600 pounds, and it's a heavy beast. And for the casters, I wanted them to be beefy as well. And I had seen some people use these Mcmaster casters that have a adjustable leg on them, so you can level out your table. And I definitely knew I wanted that feature, so I reached out to Mcmaster, and I got these. I think they're GDR 80s, and they're rated for 500 kilograms per caster, and I think that's around 1,100 pounds is what they're rated for each one. This thing should roll really, really good. And what I really like about these, number one, they're black, which is very important for me for my color scheme that I'm doing. And the second thing is I got the kind that have a extractable or a retractable ratchet system on it. So whenever you want to level your table, I can just pull this little arm out and I can ratchet it up and down and very, very quickly level out my table. And it keeps the table from moving around. And then when I need to just move it or put it back into place, I just flip the switch, ratchet the pad back up, and then I'm good to go. You can pick them up on Amazon, and I'll leave a direct link there for that. Man. I was able to download the model of this caster and put it right into my solid model, and so my caster plates bolted right up just like the model represented them, so it worked out really good. Highly recommend them. Hey, well, that's the end of this video. You made it to the end. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and watching the construction of it. I had a blast doing it. This is so rewarding to finally have it on the ground and get it test fitted underneath my workbench. I learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes, but man, it was so much fun to do. And there is so much more to do on this table. So if you would, please subscribe, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell if you want to catch the next one. And we'll continue the journey. Until next time, take it easy.